Well, as far as rugby league is concerned, on the community game locally, we're coming towards the end of the season. There's still some important matches to be played. In the Cumbria Conference, Maryport play their final game of the set programme this afternoon. They're against Hindpool Tigers. Mark Foster, the coach, joins me. Mark, you'll be hoping that you can get the win and you can peg back Distington, but it looks as though you're going to be finishing in about fifth place.
Yeah, that's looking that way, John. Obviously, the start of the season, I had my own goals and expectations of finishing around mid-table, probably not even as high up as fifth. Obviously, the league that we've moved into, a lot of ex-NCL clubs, some established teams playing at good levels. Obviously, Dalton's been by far and away the best team in the league this season, and I think a lot of people didn't think we would do a lot this season in this new league. Even though we won the Carter League last year, I think a lot of people thought we would be scrapping around the bottom positions, but we've proved a few doubters wrong, and it looks like we could be nailed on for fifth if we can get the win against Hindpool.
Yeah, Hindpool, they've obviously had a tragedy around the club with the loss of the chairman, who was so well thought of in that part of the world. And they didn't play last weekend, so they're coming. And they're also a team who certainly themselves and Ulverston are not too keen on the way the new conference has worked for them.
No, when we were down there the other week, obviously Graham was still alive, so with us then at the time, and I had a good conversation with Graham around this new league and also the coach Kev Kite. And yeah, it was basically they're being railroaded into it. Them and Ulverston, they were probably the two teams in this league that didn't want to go for it. Obviously, just on touching on Graham there, I'd just like to pass on our deepest condolences from myself and all at Maryport, and
yeah, of course,
hope they can move on from that. But obviously, giving a bit of a legacy for Graham. When we played them down there, they're a really difficult team. To be honest, John, they're pretty awkward. They play a lot of off the cuff rugby, very well. I wouldn't say organised as such in a rugby sense, but they give everything that they can. And as I say, very unpredictable. So we'll have to be on our guard to try and get the win.
Yeah, we've talked there about the league. I mean, there was a lot of doubts about it when it was expressed before the season started. But generally, it seems to have gone pretty well. I know that Hindpool and Ulverston are not happy, but generally, will you agree it's gone well?
Yeah, definitely for us as a club. I think it was the natural progression for us. I think we've spoke a few times about the Carter League last year. There was a bit of inconsistency in that league with teams putting teams out and the strength of some of the teams, and we were finding that we were playing one or two difficult games every 5 to 6 weeks or so. But this league, you've got to be on your guard every week. Even Ulverston, they come up to us the other week there with a bare 13 players, and we struggled to turn them over. So even though Ulverston and Hindpool have struggled, they've competed when they have got teams out on the field. But more or less everybody else, apart from Dalton, has proven that they can beat anybody on the day. Even ourselves, we got a point away up at Ensingham. Obviously, Elborough were fancying the chances this season. We managed to beat them and draw with them. Bad Island the other week, I know they travelled with a weakened team, but we got the win over them. So overall, it has been pretty competitive, yeah.
Yeah, and sadly, Ulverston have dropped out of today's game with Ellenborough, again unable to field a team. And it's towards the end of the season when an all-county league, that's when you find probably matches are being cancelled, isn't it?
Yeah, we find that ourselves, John, with holidays and injuries and suspensions and a few other things, especially trying to get two teams out for ourselves. We managed to do it so far, but I think today's game, we're speaking about Hindpool, I think we've got 25 available. So if we did have two games this week, we'd have struggled this week. Obviously, Ulverston, as we spoke about, their season wrapped up. They've given the last few games away. It's just when we get towards the back end of the season, height of summer, we've obviously got festivals, weddings, holidays, everything else, and teams are struggling. But hopefully we can battle through and get this season finished.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned their your A team. I mean, I know they haven't won anything, but they got to a final and they've played it. They haven't dropped out of any matches. That's been a success for your own club as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, massive positive for us, that, John. Reformed it start of last season. We thought that the numbers would be looking good, and we knew we were going to get an influx of 16s from last season 16s into the squad this year. So we battled through last year. We played every game last year, but unfortunately didn't get a win. I think we played 11 games last year, and this year we've gone from strength to strength. We've picked a few wins up. We've had to call on a few lads to help out to put a pair of boots on this season. Myself and Ian Iverson, I was club secretary. We played down at Dalton the other week, but yeah, we've managed to get a team out every week. We've competed. They were just I was on holiday last week for the A-team final at Ensingham, but apparently they were the best team in the first half. Played really well, but then Ensingham just turned it up a notch the second half, and a couple of experienced lads in there and a couple of quality players, and they managed to get the win. But them young lads on the left and the experience, they've been absolutely great this year. They've been a breath of fresh air for me as a coach and for the full squad, and they can only go from strength to strength next year.
And you've been able to bring quite a few of them through into the first team, haven't you?
Yeah, I think overall that we've fielded 15 of them in total, and I think we're on about 8 or 9 that's played first team this year. We've had Tyler Chilton, he's played in virtually every game. I think he's only missed 2 or 3 with holidays. Bobby Bell, he'll be playing today against Hindpool at fullback. Tyler's on the wing. And then we've had other lads in. Clayton McCormick's done really well as a 17-year-old front rower. Lewis Walling's dipped in and out. An England under-17 international. Finlay Moore, he's only played the once, and unfortunately he's on holiday today, or he'd have probably been in the squad. He's been man of the match for the A-team quite a few games this season, so yeah, they've done really well.
And also, I mean, the last few years, you've been building up at youth level. Are the age groups still flourishing?
Yeah. Tens downwards, we go down there on a Monday night and it's like minions running about. There's that many kids, and the youth coaches are doing an absolutely fantastic job getting them interested in rugby league and hopefully keep them coming through for the years to come.
That Northwest Counties under-16 is a very good league, I'm told, because I think Kells are the first Cumbrian team in that league to reach the Lancashire Cup final down there, and one of their players has just signed for Huddersfield Giants, which is quite an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, I know when they were playing locally in the Cumberland leagues, when I was watching Kells against Maryport, they were really good Kells. I think when they got put into the Northwest Counties, they got put in a league higher than Maryport and Distington. But Maryport and Distington are playing at a decent level. I think Kells are just that one step above, and as they've done for years, they keep churning them out, don't they, John? Excellent players who end up turning professional.
Yeah, this lad Archie Robinson. I've seen some videos on him. He looks the part, but playing at his level, and he's signed. He was down at Warrington for 2 years, and I was talking to his dad last night, and he said to me there are loads of West Cumbrian youngsters going down to play at various Super League clubs.
Yeah, myself and Paul Farrell from Mothbrow, we've actually been approached, and we're actually doing a little bit of scouting for Warrington, coming up shortly in the next, we'll be starting shortly once we get our DBS checks through and things like that. So, yeah, I'm obviously keen watching Maryport at various levels, and I've been to watch a few of the games as well. And the talent is there in Cumbria, it just needs nurtured and brought through, and all the youth coaches are doing fantastic work.
Yeah. Well, there must be. Are there plenty of other clubs of scouts in our area? They must have.
Yeah, I think Wigan's got a few kicking about, and various other clubs. I think there's, as you've seen there, there's somebody from Huddersfield being approaching lads from Kells, so they are looking at the talent coming through, and I think a lot of it is to do with them playing in this Northwest Counties. They're seeing the results of the Cumbrian teams playing against teams from Lancashire, your Wigans, your Widnesses, Oldhams, that area, and looking at they're holding their own, so they know that the talent is up here.
Yeah, good. Right. Best of luck in that sphere, Mark, and all the very best for your game tomorrow. And well, that could be the end of the season for you, could it? If you don't make the top 4.
There's the top 4 cross conference, but they're also looking at having a cross conference shield competition, John. Which the details are a bit sketchy at the minute. It got mentioned at the start of the season, and there was an email kicking about 10 days ago or something about the top 4 being progressed into the cross conference promotion picture, but they're having a shield competition for the remaining clubs, but we're a bit in the dark at the minute to see how that looks. We're hopefully going to get an email next week, and it's something that we'll be interested in going into if that's the case, and obviously testing ourselves against teams from Yorkshire and Lancashire.
Yeah, good. What about Cumbria Men's League? It's between Askham and Wathbrow, who's going to win the league. There'll be a top 4. What happens to them? Do they come into Cumbria Conference automatically or not?
Again, details are a bit sketchy, John.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, with this new league that started this year, I think what they were looking at was trying to keep 10 teams in the Cumbria Conference. So, as an example, if Ulverston drop out, we're down to 9, so they'll probably be looking at promoting somebody from that league. But then if you get Dalton being promoted into the National League One, then you're down to 9 again. So, looking at the results, Askham and Wathbrow, they could hold their own in our league quite comfortably. Obviously, we've had a few battles with Wathbrow over the last couple of years. Locally before we moved into the Conference Cumbria, and Askham looked like they've recruited really well and got the squad strength there. So they'd be two welcome additions then. So if they did get promoted.
Yeah, Mark, thanks very much. Always great to talk to you, mate. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks a lot for your help, John. Cheers, mate.